வழங்கி வருதலால் தானமிதம் என்றுணரற்பாற்று.
மழையால் உலகமும் உயிரின வாழ்வும் தொடர்ந்து இயங்கி வருகின்றன. அதனால் அம்மழையே அமிழ்தம் என்று உணரும் சிறப்பிற்கு உரியது.
வான் நின்று உலகம் வழங்கி வருதலால் தானமிதம் என்றுணரற்பாற்று.
தத்தம் தனிவாழ்வுக்கும் பொதுவாழ்வுக்கும் உரியதான ஒழுக்கங்களில் சரிவர நின்று அதனை கடந்தவர்களாகிய துறவியரது பெருமையை உயர்ந்த பொருள்கள் அனைத்தினிலும் இதுவே மிக உயர்ந்ததென ஒன்றையொன்று ஒவ்வாத பல சமய நூல்களும் கூட ஒத்து உறுதி செய்யும்.
இன்சுலாரீரமழை இப்படிரு இளவாம் செம்பொருள் கண்டார் வாய்ச்சொல்.
ஒருவர் வாயிலிருந்து வரும் சொல் அன்பு கலந்ததாகவும் வஞ்சனையற்றதாகவும் வாய்மையுடையதாகவும் இருந்தால் அதுவே இன்சொல் எனப்படும்.
இன்சுலாரீரமழை இப்படிரு இளவாம் செம்பொருள் கண்டார் வாய்ச்சொல்.
பிள்ளைகளின் உடலை தழுவுவது உடலுக்கு இன்பம் தரும். அவர்களின் மழலை பேச்சை கேட்பது காதிற்கு இன்பம் தருவதாகும்.
விசும்பின் துளி வீழ் அல்லால் மற்ற ஆங்கி பசும் புல் தலை காண்பு அரிது.
மேகத்திலிருந்து மழை துளி விழாது போனாலும் பசும்புல்லின் நுனியை கூட இங்கே காண்பது அரிதாகிவிடும்.
விசும்பின் துளி வீழ் அல்லால் மற்ற ஆங்கி பசும் புல் தலை காண்பு அரிது. நிறைமொழி மாந்தர் பெருமை நிலத்து மறைமொழி காட்டிவிடும்.
பயன் நிறைந்த மொழிகளில் வல்ல சான்றோர்களின் பெருமையை உலகத்தில் அழியாமல் விளங்கும் அவர்களுடைய மறைமொழிகளே காட்டிவிடும்.
நிறைமொழி மாந்தர் பெருமை நிலத்து மறைமொழி காட்டிவிடும். நீர் என்று அமையாது உலகெனின் யார் யாருக்கும் வான் என்று அமையாது ஒழுக்கு.
நீர் இல்லாமல் உலக வாழ்க்கை இல்லை, மழை இல்லாமல் மனித ஒழுக்கம் இல்லை.
நீர் என்று அமையாது உலகெனின் யார் யாருக்கும் வான் என்று அமையாது ஒழுக்கு.
சிறப்பொடு பூசனை செல்லாத வானம் வரக்கு மேல் வானோர்க்கும் ஈண்டு.
வானம் வறண்டால் வானவர்க்கு செய்யும் வழிபாடும் கொண்டாட்டமும் நடக்காது.
சிறப்பொடு பூசனை செல்லாத வானம் வரக்கு மேல் வானோர்க்கும் ஈண்டு. இருமை வகை தெரிந்த ஈண்டு வரம் பூண்டார் பெருமை பிறங்கிற்று உலகு.
சிறப்பு வீடு என்பன போல் இரண்டு இரண்டாக உள்ளவர்களின் கூடுவார்
வேறுபாடுகளை ஆராய்ந்து அறிந்து அறத்தை மேற்கொண்டவரின் பெருமையே உலகத்தில் உயர்ந்தது.
இருமை வகை தெரிந்த ஈண்டு அறம் பூண்டார் பெருமை பிறங்கிற்று உலகு. இருமை வகை தெரிந்த ஈண்டு அறம் பூண்டார் பெருமை.
முதல்வன் மெய்யாழ்வினை உனை சேராது அந்த மேலோன் புகழ் சொல்க தாது. மெய்யாழ்வினை உனை சேராது அந்த மேலோன் புகழ் சொல்க தாது. அறக்கடல் அவன் அருள் உண்டான், அறக்கடல் அவன் அருள் உண்டான், மற்ற ஆயிரம் தாண்டும் பலமுண்டான். அறக்கடல் அவன் அருள் உண்டான், மற்ற ஆயிரம் தாண்டும் பலமுண்டான். பிறவி பெருங்கடல் தாண்டு நீ இறைவன் அருப்புனை கொண்டு. பிறவி பெருங்கடல் தாண்டு நீ இறைவன் அருப்புனை கொண்டு. ஆனா மொழிக்கெல்லாம் முதலா இந்த அவனுக்கெல்லாம் இறை முதல்வன். ஆனா மொழிக்கெல்லாம் முதலா இந்த அவனுக்கெல்லாம் இறை முதல்வன்.
உலகெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஒப்புயர்வில் தாயே, உலகெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஒப்புயர் ஒப்புயர்வில் தாயை வானமழையேயாம் உன்னருள் நாடும் சேயே உலகெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஒப்புயர்வில் தாயை வானமழையேயாம் உன்னருள் நாடும் சேயே நலஞ்செய்யும் தருணமழை வாழ்க எனச் சொல்வோம் அதை நாட்டிட பசுமை காத்து வறட்சியை வெல்வோம் அதை நாட்டிட பசுமை காத்து வறட்சியை வெல்வோம் உலகெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஒப்புயர்வில் தாயை வானமழையேயாம் உன்னருள் நாடும் சேயே ஐம்புல கள்வர்களை வென்றவரே வீரர் அவர் அன்றோ அறம் உலகில் காக்கின்ற தீரர் ஐம்புல கள்வர்களை வென்றவரே வீரர் அவர் அன்றோ அறம் உலகில் காக்கின்ற தீரர் செம்மை சேர் ஈண்டு அறம் புரிவோரே உபகாரர் செம்மை சேர் ஈண்டு அறம் புரிவோரே உபகாரர் எட்டு திசையுள்ள உலகுக்கும் அவரே ஆதாரர் உலகெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஒப்புயர்வில் தாயை வானமழையேயாம் உன்னருள் நாடும் சேயே உலகெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஒப்புயர்வில் தாயை வானமழையேயாம் உன்னருள் நாடும் சேயே உலகெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஒப்புயர்வில் தாயே
உடையதே இல்வாழ்க்கை இன்பம் மிகுந்த உயர்ந்த நல்வாழ்க்கை அன்பும் அறனும் உடையதே இல்வாழ்க்கை இன்பம் மிகுந்த உயர்ந்த நல்வாழ்க்கை
தென்புலத்தார் முதல் ஐவரை பேணி மண்புலம் காக்கும் இல் வாழ்க்கை காணீர் தென்புலத்தார் முதல் ஐவரை பேணி மண்புலம் காக்கும் இல் வாழ்க்கை காணீர்
அன்பும் அறனும் உடையதே இல்வாழ்க்கை இன்பம் மிகுந்த உயர்ந்த நல்வாழ்க்கை
கேக்குதுங்க. ஏன் வந்து நீங்க அப்ப பாஸ்வேர்ட் கொடுத்தீங்க? இல்ல அந்த பாஸ்வேர்ட் போட்டா வேற மாதிரி பண்ணுது. இந்த லிங்க் கிளிக் பண்ணாதான் வருது. ஏங்க அதுல மீட்டிங் ஐடி பாஸ்வேர்ட் கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க, அதைத்தான் போடுறாங்க எல்லாரும். அதைத்தான் எல்லாருக்கும் அனுப்பணும்.
அதுல என்ன பிரச்சனைன்றா அந்த ஜூம் ஐடியும் லிங்க்லயும் ஜாயினிங் பாஸ்கோட்லயும் பாஸ்கோட்ல இருக்கிறது அந்த J capital J இல்ல lower case J அது மட்டும்தான் வித்தியாசம். அது அப்படி மாத்தி போட்டாங்கன்னா உள்ளுக்குள்ள
The text is small? No.
Okay. Are you in, Mr. Parasuraman?
Yeah, I'm there. Yes.
Okay.
Can we also Justice Mahadevan? I just want to know whether he's there.
Yeah, you can send that message to Justice Mahadevan, please.
We have to send out the new password to everybody now.
There's no new password. There's one letter is in capital and
I can't hear you.
Mathematics, yeah. Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Chandika?
Yeah.
We have to send the link to everybody now.
Yeah.
Otherwise there will be big confusion. You are sending for me?
I will mute it. Yeah, I think so.
Can you please mute everyone else? Okay. Dr. Parasuraman, are you ready?
Yes. Yeah, no, not ready because we have to wait for Justice and Rajendran. They just told me that they could not connect, so we have sent them the new password.
Okay. Thank
we
you.
Have to wait. We have to wait.
Suresh, we have to wait.
We are sending out the correct password. So let's wait a bit when we get.
புது லிங்க் அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கேன் பாருங்க. ஹலோ
Hello. Yeah, Rajendran.
Yeah, I'm able to hear
Very
you.
good. Very good. I'm waiting for justice.
Only thing is, the password is a bit.
No, now it's
Yes,
okay.
sorry
It's
about
the
it
correct one.
because there was a capital letter change.
Only the J is the issue, huh?
Yeah, because that was copied.
Yeah.
After J, is it a 0 or a O? QJ?
No, the link works, so the link. If they click the link.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people are asking their.
Just click the link, Rajendran.
Yeah, I'm doing that, sir.
If you just click the link, it should be okay. Huh?
The link is working.
Are we waiting for the justice?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him. We have to wait for him.
Okay.
Because he also may have a problem.
Yeah, I've sent it to him by WhatsApp.
Ah.
I hope he's able to connect that. I'm calling him also, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
ஐயா உள்ள வந்துட்டாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Justice Ayava?
வந்துட்டாங்க.
Sorry.
கனெக்ட்
Dr.
ஆயிட்டாங்க.
Parsan
செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
Yes.
has come, I believe. Just check that. Thank you.
Okay. Rewe maximum kamu isto no.
இதுலயே பண்ணிடலாமா பேசாம?
Okay. Welcome. Vanakkam, Justice Mahadevan.
Welcome, sir. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
One more minute. Let me take one more minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Problem is there.
Yeah, there was a technical problem.
Yes. I'll just join.
Please.
Join.
Okay, we'll wait for you.
No.
Yes.
So, Mr. Rajendran.
Sir.
I think all set now, but we'll continue. We are sending the new revised code to everybody.
Yeah,
and Dr. Chandrika.
Yes.
We do the same.
Yes.
So that we can, because we should not leave them out. Try to get as many as we can.
Okay. Thank you.
The proceedings are in English or Tamil, sir?
Sorry?
English, because Mauritius people will not understand Tamil.
Okay. சட்டப்பட ஒரு இது ராஜேந்திர போயிட்டு திருக்கோள் திரு
Who will be moderating, sir? There's a system.
Not really. You know, what we will do, Dr. Chandrika will start, and then will followed by me. So Tamil Tas was to first, then Dr. Chandrika, then myself, and then introduction of justice by Banu, and then the justice will speak for 30 minutes, and then you will make the vote of say. That's all. We are not doing more. I will announce at the end that this is the first of a series, and the second one will be organized by Voice of Valluvar and Partha Sarati, Bali Tamil. That's that, you know, and we expect to look for the minister also to address the second one in February.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then we can work out the details later. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine.
No, we want to make it solemn. It's a very solemn occasion. So we don't want to, this is what we have understood with Dr. Chandrika and Justice.
வணக்கம்மா, நீங்க டாக்டர் சந்திரிகா, நீங்க அப்புறமா you can share your coordinates with me.
ஆமா, பண்றேன். நன்றிங்க.
வணக்கங்க.
Dr. Chandrika.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm very happy and happy Pongal.
Thank you very much, sir.
And thank you very much for all the hard work you put in.
Yeah.
And now Justice is there.
Already 27 people are there, 27 stars. It's a good start.
Yes.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Can I get this, sir?
Is it all right now?
It's perfect now. Perfect. We are informing others about the change, the manner, and this is coming up. We can start. Now. So
yes, sir.
Dr. Chandrika, on to you.
இன்னும் கூட கொஞ்சம் கேமரா வந்து உங்களை நோக்கி சாச்சிருங்க சார். மேல சீலிங் ஃபேன் தெரியுது. கொஞ்சம் if it can bend towards the camera, sir. நீங்க லேப்டாப் தானே சார்?
ஆமாமா. Is it all right?
Perfect. எனக்கு மேல ஃபேன் தெரியல, சீலிங் மட்டும் தெரியல. Perfect ஆ இருக்கு சார்.
Okay, can we start?
Yes, please.
Yes, Suresh, Tamil Thai வாழ்த்து please.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டனில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே
Thank you very much, Suresh. I welcome one and all for this universal happening today, Tirukural and universality. I welcome our chief guest today, the keynote speaker, Honorable Justice R. Mahadevan, the conference organizer and president of International Tirukural Foundation, Professor Dr. A. Parasuraman, Mr. C. Rajendran, who is the founder coordinator of Voice of Valluvar, homily, and everyone else who have joined us today from Sydney, Mauritius, and India, all the scholars, the lecturers, the students who are able to spend their time today with us celebrating Tirukural and Valluvar. Thank you very much. Today's topic is Tirukural and universality. And 1st century BC. With the exact date still under debate, taking the latest of the estimated dates, the Tamil Nadu government is using 31 BC as the year of Valluvar. The Tirukural is praised for its universality across the globe. As the book forms parts of secular ethics, Tirukural expounds a secular, moral, and practical attitude towards life. He maintains a tone that could be acceptable to people of all faiths. The three parts of the Tirukural is divided into, namely, Aram, virtue, Porul, wealth, and Inbam, love, aiming at attaining Vidu, the ultimate salvation. They follow respectively the 4 principles of Hinduism, namely Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. He has not praised any god in particular, leading people to assume their own goal, which makes it universal. Despite the existence of contemporary religious concepts of the time, Valluvar has influenced the metaphorical sense to explicate the fundamentals of virtue and ethics without enforcing any of the religious beliefs in practice. With this note, let me present the concept paper of today's conference. Today, we are celebrating on the Thiruvalluvar Day declared by the government of Tamil Nadu, 15th January 2021. In Mauritius, online, the organizers are International Thirukural Foundation, Tamil Valarchi Mandram from Australia, Voice of Valluvar family from India. Participants are from all over the place: Tamil scholars, educationists, ministers, high-level ministry officials, opinion leaders of Tamil organizations, youth, children, and international organizations, eminent researchers and speakers. The working language is Tamil and English. The objectives of this conference is to identify the role and value of Thirukkural in promoting universality, understand the importance of Thirukkural and as a universal literature, creation of action plan to encourage learning Thirukkural among the next generation, to celebrate and promote Thirukkural and Thiruvalluvar, to take Thirukkural as a universal literature to the UNESCO. Expected outcomes: high-level intellectual involvement, engage the next generation, following up action plans, partnership for following up initiatives. The background is following the very successful International Thirukkural Conference organized jointly by Tamil Valarchi Mandram and the International Thirukkural Foundation, Mauritius, in 2019 in Sydney, in association with Sydney University with underpinning theme Thirukkural and Peace and Harmony in Sydney, and in 2020 online with the theme Thirukkural and Multiculturalism in association with SRM University. It was decided to organize this conference as an international conference with an underpinning theme, Thirukkural and Universality, with the aim of highlighting its universal nature to focus Thirukkural as a universal literature and hold its values at UNESCO. Dr. Arumugam Parasuraman, President of International Thirukkural Foundation, Mauritius, and myself, founder Tamil Valarchi Mandram, and Mr. Rajendran, founder, coordinator, Voice of Valluvar family, in association, organized this conference with the aim to explore, learn the universal nature of Thirukkural. The conference will unleash the potential of the ancient literature Thirukkural as a book of the world, which perfectly suits the modern lifestyle, which will expose its universal values at the world level. Thirukkural is a literature which holds the recordings of human values, spirit, and thus as universal appeal. With this note, I request all of you to join this program to celebrate Thiruvalluvar and Thirukkural. And may I now request Dr. Parasuraman to deliver a speech.
Thank you very much, respected Dr. Chandrika Subramaniam, respected Honorable Justice R. Mahadevan, Madras High Court Judge, Dr. Chandrika Subramaniam, founder Tamil Valarchi Mandram, Australia, Thiru C. Rajendran, founder coordinator Voice of Valluvar family, respected participants and lovers and supporters of Thirukkural, Vanakkam. On behalf of the International Thirukkural Foundation, the Tamil Valarchi Mandram, and the Voice of Valluvar family, I would like to associate with Dr. Chandrika to welcome all of you to this international conference on Thirukkural and Universality. This conference is the inaugural launch of a series of monthly webinars on the theme, and is also the first step on the final journey of taking Thirukkural to the world at UNESCO Paris. As Dr. Chandrika mentioned, the Tamil orator and writer and father of pure Tamil movement, Marai Malay Adigal, deduced 31 BC as the birth year of Valluvar. The ancient poet as well as the kings of all the three Tamil kingdom Chera, Chola, Pandya, acknowledge the erudite magnitude of the Kural. An ancient story enunciates the greatness of the Tirukkural, and I'll quote. At the time of its first presentation to the Pandyan king's court, King Senbaga Pandyan wanted to gauge the greatness of this piece. Hence, he decided to place the manuscript Kural along with other contemporary works on the golden lotus plaque at the Madurai Meenakshi temple. This plaque is considered sacred and is known to have magical powers that can identify exemplary manuscripts. While all the other manuscripts were rejected, the Tirukkural was accepted and ever since has been essential piece of Tamil culture. Valluvar was chosen as the Tamil language greatest historical figure after Tamil scholars unanimously agreed to the proposal, chiefly owing to Valluvar's non-denominational work of the Tirukkural. As a result, a resolution to celebrate a day known as Thiruvalluvar Day for him by all Tamils was passed on 17 January 1935 by Kali Sivakannua Swami Pillai and Padmasri V. Suppaya. Owing to their efforts, Thiruvalluvar Day Association was formed and a decision to celebrate the day in Tamil Nadu and across the globe was made. The first Thiruvalluvar Day was celebrated on 17 and 18 May 1935 in Chennai, Pachayappan College, in the presence of Marai Malay Adigal, T.P. Meenakshi Sundaram, and Tiruvi Kalyana Sundaram. Mahatma Gandhi described Tirukkural as a text of indispensable authority on moral life. He said that the maxims of Valluvar has touched my soul. There is none who has given such a treasure of wisdom like him. G.U. Pope observed, I quote, Tirukkural outweighs the whole of the remaining Tamil literature, is one of the select numbers of great works which have entered into the very soul of a whole people which can never die. Tirukkural is as clear as an unpolluted spring. Yes, Tirukkural, the unique book, has come to remove the impurity of the world. End of quote. Albert Schweitzer, I quote, there hardly exists in the literature of the world a collection of maxims in which he finds such lofty wisdom as in Tirukkural. Professor Maurice Winternitz, 1863-1937, from Austria, stated, Valluvar's Kural is one of the gems of the world literature. He stands above all races, castes, sects, and what he teaches is a general human morality and wisdom. In 2015, a senior citizen in Tamil Nadu, India, Mr. S. Rajaratnam, concerned about the deteriorating standards of values in Tamil Nadu, made an appeal to the court to direct the government to rectify the situation by introducing moral education. He thought that education is the correct tool to catch the young ones and mold their character to make them responsible citizens. He suggested that there could be no better book than Tirukkural, which has been acclaimed by scholars and thinkers world over as a book defying time and space in propounding values, universal values. Honorable Mr. Justice R. Mahadevan of the Madras High Court, India, before whom the case came up for hearing, he considering the prayer in the process of doing so, the erudite scholar judge succinctly brings out the richness of the great work Tirukkural by profusely quoting from the book. We are now, therefore, blessed with a landmark judgment of Honorable Justice Mahadevan of the Madras High Court on the 26th of April 2016, ordering the government of Tamil Nadu to include in the school curriculum as a compulsory subject the 108 chapters of Tirukkural between the Aratupal and Orutpal, between the 6th standard and 12th standard. The government of Tamil Nadu has implemented the order as from April 2017. This judgment is a testimony not only for Justice Mahadevan's erudition, but also for his universal thinking and regard for human values, which would lead the universe to a better civilized place to live. There can be no better personality than Justice Mahadevan to inaugurate the series of webinars on our noble mission of taking Thirukkural from Tamil Nadu, India, to the world at UNESCO in Paris. Dr. S. Karunanidhi, Professor and Head of Psychology, University of Madras, in his foreword to the book Thirukkural, The Judgment and Solution, and the solution I quote, I think Honorable Justice R. Mahadevan has taken incarnation of Lord Shiva, as his name represents the same. His revolutionary judgment on Thirukkural reveals how seriously he looked at the society, understood the pearls of the Kural, and suggested the solution to the government to have happy and healthy society. I invite you all to join me in paying a special tribute to respected Justice Mahadevan at this August conference for his timely and historical contribution to make Thirukkural a world book for humanity. We pray for his continued good health and look forward to his blessed presence with us at the forthcoming UNESCO Global Conference. Justice Mahadevan highlighted the significant contribution that Thirukkural can make to the United Nations mission of building world peace. And in fact, the United Nations in 1945 declared, I state, we promise, we the peoples, we will save our children from the horror of war. Education for all throughout life is a key word for a new departure. Education for peace and human rights, democracy, and tolerance. And I would like to refer to the UNESCO Constitution, the preamble to the UNESCO Constitution, which will give you an idea of why Thirukkural can make a great contribution to the ideals of peace as enshrined in the Constitution of UNESCO. I quote, since war begins in the minds of man, it is in the minds of man that the defenses of peace must be built, end of quote. My statement has amply covered the point that Thirukkural is a universal scripture which can accompany UNESCO and the United Nations in its mission of a culture of peace. Former Director General of UNESCO, Mr. Federico Mayo, a great advocate for a culture of peace. In fact, he took this resolution of culture of peace to the United Nations when he was Director General. I quote, the culture of peace builds on learning, on human rights and democracy are the strongest defenses against conflict. A culture of peace combines this emphasis on education, justice, and development with conflict resolution and conflict prevention. We must understand today that if peace is the right of all people, then a culture of peace is the responsibility of all people. And here I would like briefly, before concluding, to quote from what the judgment which Justice Mahadevan gave, reflecting how the teaching of Thirukkural will help us to prepare our young people to be good citizens, but also, most importantly, as we know, the whole world now is a village. We are all world citizens. So how to prepare good world citizens for world peace? I would quote from the judgment, the above extracts from Thirukkural are pulsating, and if put into practice will certainly pave the way for better humans, in turn a better society, in turn a better country, in turn a better nation. Children whose quest for knowledge is unlimited should be drawn into principles at an early age so that they are not deviated. The future of every country lies at the hands of younger generation. It is the duty of the state to show them the rightful path, and there is no better philosophy than what is preached in Thirukkural. Justice Mahadevan continues further in his judgment, I quote, undoubtedly, when the seeds are cultivated early, the result will be fruitful. When the young minds of this country are taught about the moral philosophies and methods as contained in Tirukkural, we can expect a better reformed generation, not only in morals aspect, but also in political and commercial management that would definitely take the action into a progressive mode. End of quote. So I would like to conclude by saying that we are very confident that our Tirukkural Global Conference on Tirukkural and World Peace and Harmony Universality at UNESCO Paris, at a date to be determined based on the evolution of COVID-19 in Europe, would mark the culmination of our efforts, with the UNESCO being prevailed upon to lend its weight to see that Tirukkural is declared as a book of world literature with the attendant privileges and honors. I would like to thank all of you for your kind attention. Mikka Nandri. Thank you.
Ma, please unmute, ma. Ma, unmute your audio. Mic, ma.
Thank you, Dr. Parasuraman, for that wonderful speech, mind-blowing, eye-opening, and heart-melting. As ancient Tamil poet Aware observed, Valluvar has pierced an atom and injected 7 seas into it and compressed it as Kural. We are proud to have that as our property, the Tamil's property. Let us take it to UNESCO and let us succeed in that attempt. Before I request Ms. Banu Paul to introduce Honorable Justice Mahadevan, I'd like to announce one thing. This year, the Parliament of New South Wales has agreed to host the Thiruvalluvar Day in Parliament on 10th of February. That will be depending on the COVID situation, maybe 10 people or 20 people. However, we will be hosting it. Tamil Valichi Mandam will be hosting Thiruvalluvar Day in New South Wales Parliament. Thank you very much. May I ask Banu to introduce Honorable Justice Mahadevan, please.
Vanakkam. Born in 1963 at Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, to Mr. Ranganathan and Mrs. Krishnamal, being the son of a renowned writer, Justice Mahadevan was attracted towards art and literature from a very young age. He actively participated in various literary meetings, seminars, and symposiums during his school and college days, and won several accolades. With a degree in economics from Madras University, he completed law at Madras Law College. Since enrolled with the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu, he commenced his legal profession in civil, criminal, original, and sides, with specialization in indirect taxes, customs, and central excise matters. He served as an additional government pleader for the Tamil Nadu government and as an additional central government standing counsel and senior panel counsel for the Government of India at Madras High Court. He has conducted more than 11,000 cases, out of which more than 500 cases have been reported in law journals. After the completion of 25 years of practice, he was elevated as the judge of one of the prestigious chartered high courts of India, the Madras High Court, on the 25th of October 2013. Justice Mahadevan has rendered many noteworthy judgments within social conscious on various subjects, upholding equality and empowerment of women, freedom of expression and speech, rights of third gender, preservation of nature, agricultural lands, and the artistic wealth of India in forms of idols, sculptures, etc., and the roles of the state to protect, safeguard the fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution of India. Justice Mahadevan, sir.
Honorable Armugam Parasuraman, President, International Thirukkural Foundation, Mauritius, Dr. Chandrika Subramaniam, Ms. Banu Pal, Tamil Valarchi Mandram, Australia, Thiru Rajendran Nayaris, Voice of Valluvam Family, Chennai, and other dignified personalities assembled here online. Good afternoon to you all. I am proud and honored to join this august gathering now on this Thiruvalluvar Day, and I thank Thiru Armugam Parasuraman for this excellent opportunity. I also appreciate the earnest efforts of the International Thirukkural Foundation, Tamil Valarchi Mandram, Australia, Voice of Valluvar Family, Chennai, for promoting the uniqueness, greatness, and lofty messages of Thiruvalluvar and Thirukkural globally. Thiruvalluvar, the greatest visionary, I can say, has written the immortal couplets at least beforehand on 2000 years. Many non-secular ideas and cultures are not even in existence. Still, he had the divine calling in him to foresee each and every concept, scenario, and problems the human race would face in future, with selection to lead a moral, a really useful existence in the world. Thiruvalluvar attaches great importance to the regulated life, or I can say pure content. The Kural texture contents has cherished a regular enchantment, proper from antiquity because of its secular and non-denominational nature, that it bests the sensibilities of all. One Narayanaswamy, a translator of Thirukkural into English, admires Thirukkural. I quote, "Thirukkural is neither a testament, nor a scripture, nor a heavenly dispensation according to it. It is a treatise on social life. It is the embodiment of enlightened wisdom, the hallmark of an ancient civilization with a rich heritage, tradition, and culture reflected in a distinctive language and diction. The noble Thirukkural has emphasized on moral values, ethical codes that are indispensable for human beings in their private and public lives. The philosophies, the ethics, and the values propounded in Thirukkural are idealistic in nature and are applicable to all human beings, irrespective of culture, religion, nationalities, and the like at all times. This universality is a unique feature for any literary work of an ancient or modern times. Scholars and sages cutting across the continents believe that Thirukkural is a teaching for the whole universe. It is known for its brevity, simplicity, and clarity, and worshipped as the maximum of truth. It stands above all races, castes, and different sects, and what it teaches is a general human morality and wisdom. It leads humanity to live in moral purity, spiritual knowledge, eternal wisdom, in perfect health, wealth, and prosperity. The world as a whole is facing now with existential disaster by climatic changes, starvation, terrorism in the course of borders, quest for power, hate crimes, etc. Similarly, individuals are also facing many challenges to fight in the opposition to anger, poverty, lust, temptation, ego, lack of awareness, and try to maintain the virtue of truth, as well as honesty, patience, and belief in tolerance. These problems, even though appear like personal problems, it really has an extraordinary impact on the society as a whole. There is no greater wealth than the possession of mind that is free from envy. Thirukkural lays down the route to be determined by way of every character in extra than a few spheres and mode of life to be lived through each human in the society. Ethics is most important in every human being. Ethics are nothing but moral requirements. The philosophies, and they are codified or uncodified. Thirukkural is the complete philosophy, which without a doubt endures the test of time and human perceptions and provide righteous dimension to the trouble faced by human race in one-of-a-kind stipulations in life. Once a man thinks leading the way of existence depicted in Tirukkural, he turns into immoral. His soul may additionally depart. The physique might additionally fade, however, his popularity will remain eternally. Tirukkural is taken into consideration to provide the code of conduct for the humanity of the planet for all times, which makes the past meet the present and create the destiny for the future. In the absence of virtues, however worthwhile be a man, his existence is no way complete. Civilization need to be devolved in growing human as a precise soul alongside with distinctive achievements. The loss of compassion, lust, greed, anger, and the lack of know-how amongst folks are the most important threats confronted with the resource of the society. The future of each and every nation, I can very well say, lies at the arms of youthful generation. The prolonged variety of situations in which juveniles are being arrested round the globe is alarming, and the arrested folks are from predominant education level, principal level, metric higher secondary, above higher secondary, and many are illiterates. The crimes towards women, youth, and even the crimes through teenagers have elevated in conceivable extent. The numbers of matrimonial disputes have moreover multiplied, notably depicting the intolerant, dishonest, and inhuman lifestyles. The younger and adolescent children have been misled in their ideology on the ethical standards by thoughts, forgetting the cultural heritage of our land. A crime is committed or a regulation is violated when a personality falls from morality. The teachings are pulsating by Tirukkural, and if put into exercise will in reality pave way for higher humans, in turn a higher society and in a higher country, and at last a great nation. Undoubtedly, when the seeds are cultivated early, the given end result would be fruitful. When the younger minds are taught about the moral philosophies and strategies as contained in Tirukkural, we can anticipate a greater reformed generation, not solely in moral aspects, however, additionally in political and business management also. That would take the world into greater heights. Emmons White, a Christian missionary in South India, says, I quote, Tirukkural is a synthesis of the great ethical teachings of the world. Just look into it. The phrases of Thiruvalluvar, if observed in letter and spirit, will typically yield wealth, however additionally happiness too. Because of its ethical content, the Kural remained one of the maximum famous historical Tamil works, occupied a leading region, some of the understanding literatures of the sector. The Kural has consequently been translated into world languages because of its political advantage and study ethical content material. The fundamental rights guaranteed globally embody the right to stay in peace and harmony, right to remain with dignity, safety, in opposition to sexual abuse, respect to good health, ideal to straightforward opportunity, equality, right to livelihood, food, shelter, ideal to health, social protection, education, medical care, etc. In all, it is the accountability of the state to create a welfare state. The area, the simple rights that are required to stay are preserved. And each and every person is influenced to support himself as a human being. Today, if we see in global scenario, everyone is facing many problems like theft of property, knowledge, robbery, rape, murder, rioting, terrorism, suicides, stress, greed, a number of diseases, problem due to immoral and unlawful relationship, alcoholism, intolerance, dishonesty, unemployment, poverty, starvation, ignorance, inequality, disrespect to elders, child abuse, anger, pornography, etc. The sole answer here is Tirukkural, which has been universally recognized to be the gem of moral philosophies, masking all branches of life. No different philosophy or non-secular work has such ethical and intellectual solution to the problems of life for the humankind. I am really pleased that International Tirukkural Foundation and Tamil Valarchi Mandram have been energetic in spreading the message in Tirukkural. The beacon of Tirukkural has commenced from Tamil Nadu, India, the region of its foundation, and it is the time to take it in the direction of the world with the support of UNESCO and make it as a phase of curriculum at school level in all the nations for the betterment of the world. I would say Tirukkural revolution has already commenced, and therefore it is only a different time until now then the complete world embraces Tirukkural. The Tirukkural is the guiding moderate to humanity. It leads one to continue to be in ethical purity, in eternal wisdom, in non-secular knowledge, and in first-class prosperity, wealth, and health. It is the committed path to the household man, to the mother, to the children, to teachers, artists, scholars, rulers, and politicians also. Tirukkural has introduced us jointly and will take us to elevated heights in life, giving us existence stuffed with content and satisfaction. Life generally affords us preferences at each and every turn. The one who chooses the proper path is destined to succeed. Tirukkural can lead us entirely, lead us to the desirable path, love and virtue, which have been marvelously narrated by THIRUVALLUVAR. In one particular chapter, Anbudamai, which is nothing but kindness and love, THIRUVALLUVAR says, Anbilar ellam tamakkuriya, Anbudayar enbum uriyar pirarku. In yet another chapter, emphasis on virtue, Aran Valiyuruttal, Valluvar says, Arattan varuvade inbam, மற்ற எல்லாம் புறத்த புகழும் இல. Professor Kamil Zolapil says, Tirukkural is a contribution of the Tamil modern genius to the world's cultural treasure, which no doubt everyone will accept. And Tirukkural need to be acquainted by the whole world and admired through all in the equal way. Therefore, while thanking for this extraordinary opportunity, I request all of you
I brought only achar. I forgot
to lead the virtuous course prescribed in Tirukkural.
Every day I forget to bring achar, so I brought the bottle.
And moreover to supply the food in Tirukkural and make contributions your bit to the global society. Once again, I thank you one and all for this extraordinary opportunity and your participation in this webinar series. I hope International Tirukkural Foundation Mauritius, Tamil Valarchi Mayam Australia, and Voice of Valluvam Family Chennai will take Tirukkural through UNESCO to the global community for everybody's welfare and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Justice Mahadevan. As G.U. Pope called him a bard of universal man, and the former President of India, Zakir Hussain, recognized Tirukkural as a treasure house of worldly knowledge, ethical guidance, and spiritual wisdom. You highlighted the importance of ethics, spiritual wisdom, and world knowledge, what we are slowly using to the materialistic world today. This was an amazing speech, and it's very touching for the young audience. Thank you very much for that. There is a felicitation. I'm requesting Mr. Tirunanda Kumar from Sydney, is a Tamil scholar, to give a felicitation for us following which I ask Mr. Rajendran from Valluvar family to render the vote of thanks. ஐயா திருநந்தகுமார் ஐயா.
தமிழ் வளர்ச்சி மன்றம் சர்வதேச திருக்குறள் நிறுவனத்துடன் இணைந்து நடத்துகின்ற இந்த திருக்குறள் மாநாட்டிலே தொடரப்போகின்ற பல்வேறு இணையம் வழியான நிகழ்ச்சிகளுக்கு முதற்படியாக இன்று நடைபெறுகின்ற இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியிலே அருமையானதொரு உரையை ஆங்கிலத்திலே நிகழ்த்தியிருக்கிற மாண்பமை சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்ற நீதியரசர் மகாதேவன் அவர்களுக்கு சம்பிரதாய பூர்வமாக நன்றி தெரிவிக்க விரும்புகிறோம். இது அவருக்கு நாம் வெறுமனே சொல்லுகிற நன்றி அல்ல. அவர் சில ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்னாலே தமிழகத்திலே கொடுத்த அந்த வரலாற்று புகழ்மிக்க தீர்ப்பின் அடிப்படையில் பல்லாயிரக்கணக்கான மாணவர்கள் தமிழ்நாட்டிலே இன்று இடைநிலை மேல்நிலை கல்வி பயிலுகின்ற மாணவர்கள் திருக்குறளை பயில்கிறார்கள் என்று சொன்னால், திருக்குறளில் சொல்லப்பட்ட வாழ்வியல் உண்மைகளை, மேன்மைகளை, அற்புதமான கருத்துக்களை அவர்கள் பெறுகிறார்கள் என்று சொன்னால், அதற்கு அடித்தளமட்ட பெருமை நீதியரசர் அவர்களை சார். தமிழ்நாடு சென்னை உயர் நீதிமன்றத்திலே இருந்த நீதியரசர்களிலே பலர் தமிழ் இலக்கியங்களிலே ஆழ்ந்த புலமையும் ஈடுபாடும் இருந்தவர்கள் என்பதை நாம் சிறு வயதிலிருந்து அறிவோம். அந்த அடிப்படையில் நீதியரசர் மகாதேவன் அவர்களுடைய இன்றைய சிறப்புமிகு உரை, அவர் நாராயணசாமி அவர்கள் திருக்குறளை ஆங்கிலத்தில் மொழிபெயர்த்த பொழுது அவர் கூறிய கருத்துக்களை தொட்டு அதன் மூலம் தன்னுடைய பார்வையிலே எப்படி இந்த குறிப்பாக நீதியரசன் என்ற பார்வையில் அவர் சமூகத்தை பார்க்கிறார். எப்படியான பிரச்சனைகள் சமூகத்தில் தோன்றுகின்றன, எப்படியான குற்றங்கள் நிகழ்கின்றன, அவற்றையெல்லாம் பார்த்து இவற்றுக்கு தீர்வு சமூகம் நல்ல வழிப்படுத்தப்பட வேண்டுமென்றால் அது மாணவர்களுடைய உள்ளத்திலே நல்ல விதைகளை விதைக்க வேண்டும். அப்படியான நல்ல விதைகளை விதைப்பதற்கு திருக்குறள் ஒரு அற்புதமான இலக்கியம் என்பதை நமக்கு காட்டியிருக்கிறார். எத்தகைய சிறப்பான உரையை வழங்கிய ஐயா அவர்களுக்கு சர்வதேச திருக்குறள் மன்றத்தின் சார்பிலும் தமிழ் வளர்ச்சி மன்றத்தின் சார்பிலும் இங்கு கூடியிருக்கின்ற தமிழ் அறிஞர்கள் நண்பர்கள் சார்பிலும் மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
நன்றி.
ஒரு அற்புதமான ஒரு தமிழ் பொழிவாகவே இருக்கிறது உங்களுடைய பேச்சு.
இப்போது நீதியரசர் அவர்களுக்கு ஒரு கேடயம் வழங்குவதற்கான அதன் பிரதியை நாங்கள் இங்கு மெய்நிகர் இதில் கொடுக்க போகின்றோம். சுரேஷ் ஐயா, அது உங்கள் வீடு தேடி வரும் அந்த கேடயம்.
நன்றி. வள்ளுவருடைய நாளிலே கிடைக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு அற்புதமான ஒரு பரிசாக இதை நான் ஏற்கிறேன். தமிழும் திருக்குறளும் தழைத்தோங்கவும் திருவள்ளுவருடைய அந்த அற்புதமான கருத்துக்கள் உலக தளத்திலே நிலைத்து நிற்கவும் அது இளைய சமுதாயத்தை மேலும் மேலும் வளப்படுத்தக்கூடியதாக அறிவதற்கும் துவங்கக்கூடிய இந்த ஒரு முயற்சி மிகச் சிறந்த விதத்திலே வளர வேண்டும். அதற்கு என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள். நன்றி.
நன்றி. மூவடியால் ஏழுலகையும் அளந்த அந்த ஈரடியால் ஏழுலகையும் அளந்த அந்த ஐயன் வள்ளுவனை நாம் கொண்டாடி கொண்டிருக்கின்ற நேரத்தில் இப்போது நன்றி தெரிவிக்க வேண்டிய தருணம். ஐயா ராஜேந்திரன் ஐயா அவர்கள், நீங்கள் நன்றி தெரிவிக்கலாம்.
எல்லோருக்கும் அன்பான வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு திருவள்ளுவர் தின வாழ்த்துக்கள். This proceeding is basically on, it is in English. பாரதியார் சொல்லுவாரு, மறைவாக நமக்குள்ளே பழங்கரைகள் சொல்வதில் ஓர் மகிமை இல்லை, திறமான புலமையெனில் வெளிநாட்டோர் அதை வணக்கம் செய்தல் வேண்டும். What is very important is Thirukkural over a period of times, over a period of 2000 years, a lot of attempts have been made to popularize Thirukkural. the scholars from 9th, 10th century onwards started writing commentaries on Thirukural. So that
Yeah, Rajendra, yeah. அவருடைய இணைப்பில் ஏதோ தொடர்பு ஏதோ சிக்கல் இருக்கிறது போல. Dr. Parasuraman?
Yes, I think you may have some technical problem.
I think you can complete it.
Yeah. Can you? Mr. Rajendran, are you able to connect now? No. Well, I think I will just like to associate with Dr. Chandrika Subramaniam and Mr. Rajendran for conveying our gratitude. We don't have enough words to thank Justice Mahadevan for this very, very enlightening speech that he has given today. He has given us the gist of his judgment, but the gist of his own life, of his own values, of his own philosophy, and the way he's been guiding this process. So I believe I would like, on behalf of all of us present today, the participant to this conference, I would like to convey our thanks, our gratitude, and to pray that Lord Shiva bestow on Mahadevan all the blessing that he needs for him to continue on this journey of service to humanity, but also to continue to rise up very high in his current profession itself, because as a judge of the Madras High Court, this judgment, along with other judgments that you've given in favor of the needy, in favor of the vulnerable group, you've shown your deep sense of humanity. And this is what we need in the world today. And this is what will build peace and harmony in the world. So we pray that you continue to shine in this field, you continue to bring your contribution, and this will benefit the whole world. And in a way, you are implementing, you are leading the mission entrusted upon you by Saint Balluvar. This is my firm belief. This is the way I see your commitment, what you've done with regards to this judgment. I would also like to announce to all the participants, let me thank all the participants for your presence, for your contribution the world over. And what I would like to announce to you, that we are going to have a monthly webinar, inviting different personalities across the world, to share their views on Thirukural and universality and Thirukural, world peace and harmony, as we continue our journey from today, and today being such an auspicious day, when we are celebrating Valluvar Day. It can't be more sacred than that. That when we are doing that today, and we are blessed to have Justice Mahadevan giving the opening inaugural talk, a series of webinars, we will plan and keep you informed in advance of the calendar for this year. And the next one will be in February, and will be entrusted to Voice of Valluvar and Valai Tamil, Artasarati, and we hope we'll be connecting with the Minister, Pandya Rajan, for him to give the opening address to that second conference. And for your information, Government of Tamil Nadu has set up a high-level committee chaired by the Minister of Tamil Development, and where I'm honored to be a member of this committee to work on the mission of taking Thirukural to UNESCO, taking Thirukural to the world. So we look forward to the participation of the Minister, the next meeting, and eventually we'll have other organizers across the world who will take the responsibility for the future webinars. And I have in mind Mr. Siva Pillai from UK, from Tamil University, Tamil Studies UK, who is also doing a fantastic work. And they will have the responsibility probably for March but we'll discuss with all the other organizations. Everybody will have a chance to participate, to come forward, to enlighten further the world, especially our younger generation, on the value and the richness of Tirukkural, but most importantly, how this can be the instrument for world peace, how this can accompany UNESCO, how this can accompany the United Nations in this current situation where the world is facing so many challenges. So that's our commitment to do that work. And as I said, we don't know when we can have the physical conference at UNESCO. We wouldn't like to have a virtual, we do not like our virtual conference. We want it to be a real one. And the time we will let you know, and as soon as we can see the evolution. But this is our target. And we're also inviting the central government of India to be together with the state government of Tamil Nadu to be party to this, so that all this, with all the respect that the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, pays to Tirukkural, quoting Tirukkural in many of his major statements, all the, and even at the UN. So all these will together help to take Tirukkural and give it its rightful place in the world. And as I said, UNESCO being the key UN agency, UNESCO is considered to be the temple of peace. And this is where we want to present Tirukkural in the different languages that's available, share it with the member states, 195 member states of UNESCO. We want you to go there. And this will, I am sure, I could see Justice Mahadevan feeling very happy that let's hope together we can join hands and take Tirukkural, every country in the world, and draw from the judgment that you gave, the historic landmark judgment, unique judgment that you gave, to ensure that we can empower every young person. We can inculcate in them values so that they can all become great world citizens, which will then be the foundation for world peace. So with these few words, let me thank all of you once again, and we look forward to the next conference in February. And I would again like to pay my thanks to Dr. Chandrika Subramaniam. I must say she is really, you know, somebody who is blessed, somebody whom I feel blessed to have known for all her dedication, all the work she does to promote Tirukkural among all of the major responsibilities in the judiciary, in the judicial field. So Dr. Chandrika, God bless you, keep it up. And you are a Shakti to this movement. And I'm confident that you will continue to do so. And Rajendran, Voice of Valluvar.
Yeah, I'm back.
Voice of Valluvar, now you have to be prepared for February. Oh, you're back. Welcome. Yes. Voice of Valluvar, be prepared for February, because we want you to give it still more momentum to this that we have started today, right? So we leave it to you and to Partha Sarathi, and also the Minister of Tamil Nadu Development.
One comment on Valluvar blessed Mr. Rajendran to give a detailed talk instead of vote of thanks alone.
Thank you.
By February. Yes.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having so much faith on me. And a lot of dignitaries are here. What we need to do is we need to only connect the dots. The dots are functioning, and we have our own Professor Raman, who has got a lot of exposure to UNESCO. And really, we are fortunate to have a man who has got exposure to UNESCO, who knows the ins and outs of UNESCO, the functioning of UNESCO, and as well as a solid background on Tirukkural, that is Aram. So with this and with the people all over the world, as I'm saying from London, Sir has done quite a lot of work together on some stage. And a lot of people all over the world, we need to only connect the dots. I'm telling you, as the Honorable Mr. Justice said, the time has come. Now this is the time. We need to put Tirukkural on the pedestal, and Tamil Sangam, both in India and abroad. I'm saying my friend Jan Sengren, both in India and abroad are doing a lot of work. Currently also Danish language translation is being done, all by individual efforts, all by small organizations' efforts. We need to put together all these efforts, and the day is not far when UNESCO recognizes this And recently, we also need to mention Honorable External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has recently written a book, The India Way, Strategies for an Uncertain World. And he has quoted from Thirukkural. Uncertain world, we need to bring stability and peace. Only through Thirukkural we can bring it. And Honorable Minister S. Jaishankar, Dr. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister, recently has come out with this book. Honorable Prime Minister already quote from Thirukkural extensively. So this atmosphere is right now. The only thing is we Thirukkural Arvalars need to come together and work together and move together.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for this small interruption, sir. I will get back to you as you expected. I'll get back to the bigger speech about 2020. Thank you so much.
Okay. நிகழ்ச்சி நிறைவரும் தருணம் இது. தமிழ் வளர்ச்சி மன்றம், அனைத்துலக திருக்குறள் அமைப்பு மற்றும் திருக்குறள் குடும்பம் சார்பாக இன்று கலந்து கொண்டு இந்த நிகழ்வினை சிறப்பித்த அனைவருக்கும் எங்கள் தமிழ் கூறும் நல்லுலகத்தின் சார்பாக நன்றிகளையும் வணக்கங்களையும் தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு மீண்டும் இவ்வாறு ஒரு நிகழ்வில் சந்திப்போம் என்று வணக்கம் கூறி விடைபெறுகின்றேன். நான் சந்திரிகா சுப்பிரமணியன்.
லண்டன்ல வள்ளுவர் விழா நடத்த போறோம். வள்ளுவர் சிலைக்கு மாறிட்டு இன்று வள்ளுவர் சிலா ஜூமில் நடக்க போற செய்தி உங்களுக்கு வள்ளுவர் சிலா at SOAS department, University of London, and they are celebrating a big especially on Zoom. Justice மகேந்திரனையா, நீங்க அடுத்த தடவை லண்டன் தமிழ் ஸ்டடீஸ்க்கு வந்து பங்கு பெற்ற வேண்டும் என்ற வேண்டுகோளை மிக்க நன்றி. Thank you Mr. Dr. Armo. Thank you Dr. Chandriya.
வள்ளுவர் தின வாழ்த்துகள்.
நன்றி உங்களுக்கு.
Bye.